Hey guys, so now we have to talk about Elsa and her mom's relationship. So I don't know if you guys noticed this, but in the scene where Anna, like grown up, is singing to Elsa, when it shows Elsa behind the door, like when she's already crying, like she wasn't even like Anna was trying to talk to Elsa, but she didn't reply. Uh, like she was trying to sing to Elsa. Elsa didn't reply like she did the other times because when they were young, Elsa was like, "Go away, Anna," but she didn't reply this time, and she seemed to be crying. But uh, from the look on her face, it didn't really seem like she was crying about her sister. And her parents, it was the day of her parents' funeral, and she didn't go to the funeral. But she was brave enough to go to her own coronation, right? Even though she was scared of her frozen powers and stuff, even though she was wearing gloves. Um, and yeah, she did have to take off her gloves, but still. But at the funeral, she wouldn't have had to take off her gloves, and she would have been brave enough to go in front of all those people, especially if she wore gloves. But she did not go to the funeral. It could have been because she was scared to to go there, but if she was brave enough to go to the coronation, then why wouldn't she be brave enough to step out of her room and go to the funeral? And what are you doing? She's like laying on the floor like a dog, guys. So, uh, I'm like, well, she could have gone to the funeral if she wanted to, right? She just had to wear gloves to protect people from her magic powers. But other than that, she should have been able to. But she should have been able to go to the funeral. But I thought, what if she was just very emotional about her parents' death? Because she was crying and the gaze dozed off look, like the sad look, and she was already crying. Anna didn't start crying until like it started focusing on Anna in front of the door. Um, so obviously Elsa didn't really seem to be crying about Anna. Besides, it was the day her parents just died, so why should it all be about like her sister's relationship, right? Because when you think about it, it doesn't really make sense for her to be thinking about her sister and being emotional about not having a relationship with her sister, and it just doesn't make sense. So I thought, well, what if it's about her mom? Yes, it could be also about her dad because, she had a great relationship with her dad because they did lots of things together about her frozen powers and stuff and talking to each other like don't feel it, like con- conceal it, don't feel it, whatever they say. Um, sorry, I just paused for no reason. Um, so that's probably what happened, really. Is that she was upset more about her, but she could have been more upset about her mom because she didn't really have a relationship with her mom. Because her mom, she didn't really know how to help Elsa with her powers, and her dad was always with her, helping her with her deal with her powers, and it kind of felt like part of like it kind of felt like she had a relationship with her father through that. But her mom didn't really know how to help Elsa because she didn't get that information of how to help somebody with frozen powers. So their relationship just wasn't like they didn't really speak to each other that much, and it must have felt very hard for Elsa and her mom, especially Elsa, knowing that the female model that she should be looking up to was somebody that she couldn't really talk to because she feared her whole life about her frozen powers, and the only person she could talk to about her fears was her dad because her mom obviously wouldn't understand. All she could tell her was that it's going to be okay, but her mom knew that it was complicated, but she didn't know everything about having magical powers. She didn't know what it was like. She knew how scared she was. She just didn't know how to handle it. She didn't know how insane it was to handle. Maybe she did a little bit, but I don't think she was necessarily in Elsa's shoes. But I know that she knew it was very hard for Elsa, but I didn't think that she was necessarily in Elsa's shoes. Um, so Elsa was probably crying about the fact that she didn't have a very good relationship with her mom, and it's a very terrible thing to think about, that she couldn't really connect with her mom because of what she was afraid of and the fact that only her, oh, the cat's just looking over at something. That's what I'm looking at. Um, so it must have been very hard for both of them